The story of the village without mirrors. You see yourself through the eyes of others. There was once a village, hidden deep in the folds of misty mountains, where no mirrors existed, not one. The people there had never seen their own reflections, not in polished metal, not in still water, not even in the glass of a window. They had no idea what they truly looked like. Instead, they knew themselves only through the words of others. An old woman named Elara lived in this village. She was kind, always the first to lend a hand when a neighbor fell ill or a child scraped their knee. But she carried a quiet sorrow. Every morning, she would wake and wonder, what do I look like? Am I as worn as I feel? She had no way to know. One day, a traveler passed through, a merchant with a cart full of strange and wonderful things. Among his wares was a small, handheld mirror, something the villagers had never seen before. Curious, Elara picked it up, and when she looked into it, she gasped. The face staring back was not what she expected. The lines around her eyes were deep. Yes, but they curved upward, like the marks of a lifetime of laughter. Her silver hair caught the light like threads of moonlight. She had always imagined herself as tired, faded, but the mirror showed her something else, something she had never been told. That night, she sat by the fire, turning the mirror over in her hands. She thought of all the words people had used to describe her over the years. "You're so strong," they'd say. "You're so giving," but never had anyone said, "You were beautiful," Had they not seen it? Or had she simply never believed it until now? The next morning, she took the mirror to the village square and placed it on a wooden stand for all to see. One by one, the villagers approached, hesitant, then awestruck. Some wept, some laughed. A young man who had always been told he was clumsy saw the steadiness in his own gaze. A woman who had been called plain her whole life discovered the quiet elegance in her features. For the first time, they saw themselves, not as others described them, but as they truly were. And that was when Elara understood the deeper truth. The village had never needed mirrors to see themselves. They had only needed to believe what they saw in each other's eyes. We are all like that village. We go through life hearing fragments of who we are. You're too quiet. You're too loud. You're too much. You're not enough. And we stitch those pieces together into a portrait we call me. But how much of that portrait is real? And how much is just the echo of voices that may not have ever truly seen us? The mirror didn't change Elara's face. It changed the way she held her face. It changed the way she carried herself. Because once she knew her own reflection, the words of others lost their power to define her. So here is the question to sit with today. If you had never heard a single opinion about yourself, if you had only ever seen your own reflection without commentary, who would you believe yourself to be? Perhaps it's time to look. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.